Breaking news, you are looking at new body camera video of a DeSoto County sergeant who kicked and punched inmates. Thank you so much for counting on Gulf Coast News at 3. I'm Alex Howard.
I'm Christy Soto. The DeSoto County Sheriff shared a lot of video in the last hour from several cameras. So let's go ahead and take you through this. Here's a look at the cell camera. In the upper left corner is where a combative inmate is with two DeSoto County deputies. Also in the cell is a second inmate and another deputy. You see Luis Tovar hit the first inmate several times.
Are you okay? Why are you? I'm so sorry. You're good. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you. Okay?
Then we see the second inmate get kicked in the face. The first inmate is now out in the hall outside the cell. One deputy holds the man up against the wall. Then another deputy takes him down, hitting him many times. After this scuffle, deputies then partially restrain the inmate to a chair.
Which arm are you releasing, Smith?
Left.
Left? Okay, let's
Be left.
All right.
After deputies restrained the inmate, Tovar reported using force against the two inmates, which led to administrative review. This led to Sergeant Tovar being arrested.
Scary moments for people at a Port Charlotte Walmart. Charlotte County deputies arrested a man they say fired an air rifle at cars at the Murdoch Circle store. Gulf Coast News reporter Mohammed Giacobbi is live from there in Port Charlotte with how quickly deputies managed to make an arrest. Mohammed?
A 911 caller thought the rifle was real. It happened right here in this Murdoch Circle parking lot in this Walmart. She said that she thought it was real, and then she quickly called 911. To take a look at the screen, this is the person that was arrested yesterday. Deputies found Lazario Alonso Prieto sitting with a blanket on his lap under a palm tree yesterday afternoon. They told him to lift up the blanket where they found an air rifle. I spoke to a shopper who comes to this Walmart on Murdoch Circle often. She said it's sad people can't shop in peace.
These days you don't know if it's fake or if it's real. So for sure it will scare anyone, and everyone will call 911 the same way that the other person did.
Now deputies say that Prieto wasn't supposed to be at this Walmart. He was trespassed this area previously. The good news is that nobody was hurt. I'm reporting live in Port Charlotte. I'm Mohammed Giacobbi, Gulf Coast News.
Mohammed, thank you. Collier County deputies arrested a man they say went 106 miles an hour on Alligator Alley and violated the state's superspeeder law. Deputies say Alpha Edwards was dangerously passing cars yesterday. The sheriff's office says Edwards has an extensive driving history. Fort Myers police arrested a man they say went 123 miles per hour in a 45. This was near the Edison Bridge. Police say Jose Salazar Cax went this fast on Saturday. And a reminder that the new superspeeder law here in Florida means if you go to you go to jail if you go 50 over the limit or 100 miles an hour.
Collier County deputies arrested a man they say stole a car, led them on a chase, and then crashed it. Deputies spotted Abraham Bravo Cruz on Santa Barbara Boulevard and Golden Gate Parkway. They say he failed to slow down for a curve and crashed into a parked car and a deputy's cruiser along 50th Street Southwest.
New at 3, the Lee County Sheriff's Office says a registered sex offender gave a 17-year-old drugs and alcohol while he was paddleboarding over the weekend, leading to him going missing. The Sheriff's Office says this led to the arrest of Warden Bourne after the teen was found in a boat near Fort Myers Beach. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says the teen went missing at Bunch Beach near the San Carlos Bay Bunch Beach Preserve. Deputies say Bourne and the teen exchanged phone numbers with Bourne, telling him not to tell his parents about the drugs and alcohol. And we've got some breaking news here at the top of the hour. Delaware State Police are warning people to stay away from the DMV in Wilmington due to an active shooter. We're still working to find out more information, and we'll bring it to you as soon as we find out.
New at 3, people are turning to a Naples taxidermist after they killed black bears in this month's hunt. Gulf Coast News reporter Jalen Barron is live in Naples with what it takes to turn bears into rugs.
Today I had a tour inside Skins and Scales Taxidermy. This is where Bucky Flowers runs his shop that turns animals into trophy pieces. Now he gave us a look inside the warehouse where he's working on a couple of bears that hunters bagged in Florida this month. Flowers said most hunters want their bears turned into rugs. He has a full bear stuffed inside his store in Naples, along with other animals. Flowers said he usually gets about 10 to 15 bears a year, but they come from Canada and Alaska, destinations where hunters from Naples often travel.
So, you know, and we get them in, we find out what the customer wants to do, and most of them are rugs. This one happens to be a life size, obviously, but so we just pretty much do what the customer asks and pays for.
Now, questions still surround Florida's black bear hunt. Statewide officials have not released how many bears have been killed or where, even though we have requested those public records. Now, this hunt ends this Sunday. Live in Collier County, Jalen Barron, Gulf Coast News.
Jalen, thank you. Florida lawmakers are taking steps to regulate artificial intelligence. They're focusing on better protecting you and your kids. The bill is known as the Artificial Intelligence Bill of Rights. It would give parents more control over how their children use AI. It would make companies tell people when they're talking to an AI system rather than a real person. The bill also calls for transparency in political advertising and would block state agencies from working with AI companies linked to foreign adversaries that some people think that AI has good and bad things, but believe it can be dangerous for children.
Social interaction that my children and my kids need, I think it's very important. And we're going to lose that part of society, I believe.
Lawmakers are looking into the impact of large AI data centers, which use huge amounts of electricity and water and could affect local communities. Additional legislation would also require warnings for minors interacting with AI chatbots. The bill is expected to be taken up in Tallahassee next month.
Go around the door.
Keep them on a recovery position, guys.
Go around to the door and just pull them out.
Yeah. Ready? Pull. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
You are looking at new body camera video after Flagler County deputies say they found a missing man alive after 4 days in the woods. Deputies say 72-year-old Alan Schmidt was reported missing on December 15th. Deputies found him unconscious with a tree on top of him, which was making it hard for him to breathe. Thankfully, he is expected to make a full recovery.
A Palm Beach restaurant manager says he's back home in West Palm Beach after he spent 12 days in Alligator Alcatraz. Jose Gonzalez was arrested during a traffic stop on December 10th. His family, however, said Gonzalez is not in the country illegally and has a valid U.S. work permit. Schmidt says the conditions at the facility were unbearable, with about 80 people to a cage, sleeping on the floor, and lights left on continuously. A vigil was held Sunday to pray for his release.
First tears, and knowing that Christmas is 2 days away and he will be home to celebrate probably one of the most magical Christmases he ever had.
Eddie Schmidt, a close friend of Gonzalez, says he hopes Gonzalez's case highlights others in similar situations and leads to change.
Recently filed legislation aims to protect law enforcement officers from harassment. The Federal HALO Act bill is based on a Florida law passed last year that creates penalties for obstructing officers and requires bystanders to keep a buffer when law enforcement is actively working. Anyone entering the area could be fined or face jail time if they don't leave following a warning. Senator Ashley Moody says this bill is a response to increasing violence against law enforcement nationally.
That would give a 25-foot buffer zone to federal law enforcement officers when they're asking people to step back and give them room to do their specific job, that they are not distracted, that people have to step back. That is the only safe way to do that.
Opponents of the measure that passed in Florida last year questioned how the law would be enforced and brought up concerns around racial profiling and its application.
And as we celebrate the holiday season, Gulf Coast News is proud to bring you some of your stories from this year. Join us on Christmas Day at 3 for the Gulf Coast News Stories to Share holiday special. It's an hour of your stories with heart and humor. That's Thursday at 3 p.m. on Gulf Coast NBC.
The Epstein files continue to slowly be released. Ahead at 3:30, we'll show you the latest documents from lawmakers overnight.
Debit, no credit, no tap, just cash.
And now a man takes a cash-only challenge to completely change his financial situation. How he did it, that's next at 3.